World War II is known as one of the scariest and most terrifying human events. A war in which millions of soldiers and innocent people were killed, and in the meantime, video games were also trying to make their own reference to this tragic event. So that a new generation of video games was made that only referred to this historical event. Video games had the ability to narrate things that other mediums could not depict, and for this reason, many people preferred to use video games. Get to know this event. Today I will introduce you 10 games in the style of World War II. Number 10. Steel Division 2 strategy games are definitely a unique experience in the world of video games. But one of the most popular of these games are titles adapted from World War II, and in the meantime, Steel Division 2 is exactly one of these games. This game, which was first released in 2019, comes with a price tag of $39.99 and you can download and install it through Steam. Steel Division 2 is a lovely journey to the Eastern Front and Europe in 1944. Tactical elements, the lovely world and dynamic maps of Steel Division 2 have made this game an attractive title. Also, the gameplay of this game is a completely realistic experience, and if you are looking for a strategy game with an entertaining story, Steel Division 2 is a very popular option for gamers. Number 9. Enlisted. Definitely an MMO game from the world of games adapted from World War II. It's an amazing theme that Enlisted portrays. This game will be available for the first time in 2021 by the independent studio Dark Flow Software for free to gamers of Xbox S and X Series consoles, PlayStation 5 and finally PC was placed. This game was an online experience that allowed you to experience World War II from a completely different perspective. The good story of this game along with its graphics, they made Enlisted an interesting game. This game took a look at the historical events of World War II and depicted the different fronts of this battle and allowed you to, along with your friends, have a historic trip and for the honor of your country, fight on the front lines of the battle. Number 8. Panzer Corps 2 was one of those fascinating games that unfortunately was not seen as it should have been. This game, which was made in 2020 by Flashback Game Studio for PC, is one of the most beautiful and best strategy games adapted from World War II that has something to say. Panzer Corps 2. Although it may seem like a simple game at first, the beauty of this game is so tempting that it forces you to experience this game. Panzer Corps 2 is a strategic game with 60 scenarios and stages. It is a story that each of them has a different view of World War II. From fighting alongside the Nazis, to fighting on the beaches of Normandy. This game is exactly what gamers should go for. Number 7. Order of Battle, US Pacific. Honestly, in order to play the lovely Order of Battle, US Experience Pacific, first you need to get this game for $19.99 and for this you need to go to the Steam platform. This fascinating game is an extraordinary experience from the world of strategic management games, which has also received fascinating DLCs so far. Where you have to take control of the naval and air fleet of the US Army in World War II battles. Game Order of Battle, US Pacific has tried to stick to historical themes to a great extent. From various battles such as the Battle of Okinawa and Midway, to the attack on Pearl Harbor by the Japanese. So if you are looking for an interesting game, Order of Battle, US. Don't ignore the Pacific. Number 6. Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond. Truth be told, Medal of Honor games were once the undisputed kings of war games. But unfortunately, this franchise has not been very successful for years and has practically been forgotten. The franchise's latest attempt to revive itself dates back to 2020. Where the game Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond was released, and unlike the previous games of this series, now it was turned into a VR game that you could play using Oculus virtual reality glasses. As you might have guessed, the game wasn't a huge success. In fact, the first-person shooter game Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond ended its journey with a Metacritic score of 67 and became a title that perhaps no one expected and hammered the last nail into the coffin of the Medal of Honor series. Number 5 Hell Let Loose is a multiplayer first-person shooter game that puts you in the heart of brutal battles of World War I. In this game you will fight as infantry, tankers, or artillery crews, participate in 50v50 battles on large, realistic maps, use authentic weapons and equipment from the war, rely on teamwork and strategy to achieve victory. Hell Let Loose features realistic graphics and sound, offers challenging and immersive gameplay, provides a harrowing experience of war. If you are looking for a hardcore tactical shooter with great graphics and gameplay, a deep and immersive experience of World War II. Number 4 Battlefield 5. It was exactly in 2018 that DICE Studio returned to the Battlefield series and introduced Battlefield 5. This game was the 11th installment in the Battlefield series and was a direct sequel to Battlefield 1, which was released in 2016. This game managed to perform relatively well with a meta score of 81. It did not take long to be introduced as one of the best games in the Battlefield series. This game was made for 9th generation consoles and PC, and DICE Studio developed it. It used Frostbite 3 game engine, the first thing from the Battlefield 5 game. It made an attractive title. The graphics of this game are exemplary. So that even after the years since the release of this game, Battlefield 5 is still known as one of the most beautiful shooter games in history, and if your priority is to experience a video game with graphics, Battlefield 5 from DICE Studio will definitely be a good choice for you. Number 3 Scriptum. To be honest, nothing like experiencing an online game with your friends, not attractive especially if these games are narrated in World War II. A topic that Scriptum game has approached since 2016 and allows you to experience a lovely online game. Scriptum is exclusively available for PC and is powered by Unreal Engine 4. Scriptum game is a first-person shooter game, but the creators of this game to make Scriptum even more attractive, they have also used strategic tactical elements, and this has made gamers have an interesting experience of this game. Number 2 Hell Let Loose. The game Hell Let Loose is still in the early stages of its development and is only available to gamers as early access. But still, it has so much potential that you want to go for Hell Let Loose in such a list. A tactical shooter game developed in 2019 for 9th generation consoles and PC. This game puts gamers in a bloody battle. A battle where players have to fight each other in 2 teams of 50 and the team with the most points will win the game. Also, the presence of more than 14 different stages in the Hell Let Loose shooter game, its good graphics and most importantly, the exemplary sound of this game, are among the reasons that have made this lovely game a unique experience that every gamer should go for once. Number 1 Call of Duty, World at War. It's time for an interesting game from Activision Studio. We are talking about the game Call of Duty, World at War, which was released in 2008 and won the award for the best game of the PlayStation 3 console in the same year. Call of Duty, World at War was a masterpiece game that not only had good graphics at the time of release, but the story campaign was so deep that you could convey that terrible feeling of war to the gamers. Also epic music and most importantly, the section online, multiplayer Call of Duty, World at War, they made this game worth talking about, and if you are looking for one of the most beautiful video games in history, you should definitely visit Call of Duty, World at War.